Well, Anders, congratulations on the film. You've worked with Mads Mikkelsen a number of times before. What is it about him as an actor that makes you want to collaborate with him so often?
Well, it's because he is the perfect actor. He's an old dancer, so he's so precise. He's physical. He has a great face. He has great appearance. He's great at dialogue. He's great at the psychology of the characters. He's a team player. When you shoot a movie with him, he'll take responsibility for the whole movie and help out, the smaller parts and newcomers. So he is the perfect actor.
He's not your only regular collaborator, though, because several others are in Riders of Justice as well. And it's almost as if you've built up your own sort of repertory company. I mean, was this always the way that you wanted to work when you started out in films? Because it's actually quite special to find a group of people that you're so in tune with.
Well, no, I mean, Nikolai has been in all the movies too. There are a couple of others who have been in 2 or 3. But especially Mads and Nikolai, I mean, we just started out together. We've done loads of films we live right next to each other. We could walk to each other's house, and we're friends. And I know it all sounds very, how do you say?
Cozy?
Yeah, cozy, and perhaps for that it's too, a bit lazy too. But it's, I mean, it's somehow they also help me. They give me, I mean, we've evolved some characters and a style together over the last 20-25 years, which is great. I look at it a little like a rock band, often you get the question, why don't you have to change the actors? Why don't you do that? But nobody will tell a rock band you have to get a new drummer. I mean, so it's just I don't know. I benefit a lot from them, and honestly, the movies we've made are collaborations, so they're such a huge part of them.
So you probably do some of your best work when you're not actually working, when you're hanging out.
Definitely, all the ideas. I mean, a lot of times it's happened over a few beers, and it's definitely a lot of the characters have come to life that way.
Thinking about Mads' other film, it's probably more than a few beers as well.
Well,
but of course you write an awful lot of scripts as well, and I wondered, given that you've got all these regular collaborators, when you're starting on a script, do you have any of your actors in the back of your mind, or do you just follow the characters and see where they take you?
I do have almost all, not only actors. I will also have an uncle or a family member. I mean, I put real life characters on the character. On the fictive characters. But very often it's not. Also because a lot of these guys that I collaborate with, they've become very busy around the world and doing loads of stuff. So it's not always. I'm not able to get them, but still I use them as a, how do you say? Yeah, I do have characters and people and in my head. I rarely write from scratch in fantasy.
So what made Mads so right for this particular role? Because he looks like a hard man with the hair and the beard, but actually underneath he's a really damaged person. And in comedic terms, he's actually kind of like the straight man. Oh yeah, but this was that was tough for him, because in all the other movies we've made, he's never been the straight man in one of my movies, and he had a hard time, laying up the ball, and everybody else was smashing all the time. So it was tough for him, but I wanted to do a movie with him as a straight man, because he's and this part especially because this is a man who is completely not in touch with his emotion, like this badass on the outside. So I needed an actor who could really be that and at the same time, when you had like a close-up, you can see that there's a lot of emotions going on in there, but not too much. And he's like perfect for that. And he really is, with should we say, the most unlikely group of Avengers ever. Yeah. Yeah, that's like the randomness of life that he is. That's the comedic touch, right? That it's these guys would. The funny thing is, when in the beginning of the movie, you sort of think, oh no, they cannot let this man have this info, and then
and then you suddenly also, it turns a bit later on, you think, oh no, he cannot help these guys. I mean, it's like it's a match made in hell. It's bound to go wrong, right?
It is. Looking at your work so far, you've concentrated very much on cinema, and you haven't really sort of done anything for the small screen. But of course, nowadays, actors and writers and directors sort of move from one to the other without really sort of thinking about it. I wondered how much of this was a deliberate decision of yours to stick with the cinema, and do you ever see yourself going onto TV in any way?
I have had I have projects now too. It's you know, it's inevitable that you cannot get around the small screen anymore. But that said, I do prefer doing movies. I like movies. I like the format. I can see that the longer you have, you have the freedom to, you know, expand on your characters and story in a series, of course. But I like the idea of it being an active choice, that you actually jump on your bike or walk to the cinema, buy a ticket, sit down, and, you know, dress, get clothes on, instead of lying in a bed and scrolling through something, never being able to find anything you want to watch, and then just ending up watching something, which for me is the other. I mean, streaming is it's like there's something with the active choice, something that I think all artists would like to. It's nicer to have people visit a museum than, you know, to send them a picture of your painting. That was not a really good, but you know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean. I mean, it's actually people who sort of got up, made the effort to go and see film on the big screen rather than just sort of flicking a couple of switches.
Yeah, and
it's more of a commitment to it.
Yeah, also because I can see the one in my house, anyways. The teenagers, I mean, when they watch something on Netflix or HBO, they'll watch 20% of it, and they'll be on Instagram, and this, which also pisses me off, to be honest, because it's like, but that's how it is now.